Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is John Kitchens, episode 67 of Expert Mentors Live. Super excited for today's episode. We've got Mr. Todd Schroth on with us, and man, we're going to be talking repeat and referral business. I know this is definitely a hot topic everybody's looking to improve on, and so really excited to jump in with you guys today. If you guys have any questions, make sure to use the Q&A feature in the chat. If you're listening to this recording, throw it in the comments. And definitely we will let Todd help out and answer anything and give you guys more clarity. So Todd, say hello to the Honey Badger Nation. And
Honey Badgers, awesome to be here.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited. I think we've got a little Orlando swing going on over the next 3 or 4 weeks. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah. We just looked at our MLS this morning. We've got almost 900 agents from EXP in there now.
Oh, wow. That's so awesome. Yeah. You guys are definitely gaining some traction and moving fast. So
sure is awesome.
Yeah, it is. So real quick, before we jump in, I just want to explain, not only do you guys have so many new agents coming on, I mean, we've got so many new agents just getting plugged into the Honey Badger Nation. And I just want to give everybody a little, just a little 2 seconds here of really what Expert Mentors Live is all about. And as you know, this is episode 67. So we've gone like 68 or so weeks. I think we had a week where we didn't get one recorded of consecutive weeks of doing this episode, of doing this show. And so really what it was born out of the tapping into the horsepower of the talent that we have in this community. And man, we've got so many talented people just like yourself that really just want to add value and give back. And so really that's what these episodes are all about. And they're just chock full of value. And that's what we look to bring to you guys each and every week. So man, Todd, jump in, man. I'm super excited. I've got my notepad and pen, so I'm going to be capturing some notes and definitely suggest all of you guys do the same.
I will just put a tidbit in for the weekly mentor stuff. I was running through all of it this morning and just trying to get some added value out of there. And it's like I could just spend all day listening. I mean, there's just, if I had 48 hours, I could just sit down and it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
There's a lot of content in there. If you have not been in Expert Mentors, watch the weekly stuff, check it out. I just went back to like week 6, week 5, week 30 today and really got some good nuggets. So it's really cool. So, and that's one of the things we're excited to be here with too, because there's so much value added back from people across the country, even locally. We're all just collaborating and mentoring each other. Stuff we didn't get at the other brokerage, and the stuff that was the value add that wasn't there. Even in our coaching companies that we're involved with, it's the value adds aren't there that we get as part of this. So it's awesome. I'm excited to be here to talk about our referral business because it is 65 to 75% of our business that we have right now.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, and so I mean. I've always kind of looked at, and even for us, if we could get to that 50% mark, right, is kind of like, man, we feel pretty good because then you can balance out and allocate your marketing dollars accordingly. And so that's awesome. So cool.
So just kind of dive in, I'm in Orlando, Florida. If you guys have any referrals for the area, my team and I would love to help. I've got a small team of 5 other agents and 2 support staff. We're excited. We just got actually our first Honey Badger referral last week. We are listing this week, so we're excited to handle that as well.
Awesome.
Kind of get those connections started. And we like to jump in when we can and help everyone else out. I've been in this business 20 years. I've been at Remax for 20, and just really got dived into EXP back in December. 9 months here, getting our feet wet, still learning a lot. And I feel like I've got a lot to learn, even being a veteran and a second generation agent, watching my parents grow up in this business. And I'm learning as much as I can because now it's like I have an opportunity that people actually want to hear what I have to give back, which is cool. Today, preparing for the podcast today or webinar, I really sat down and dove into our numbers a little bit deeper than what I usually do. And realizing that we have, last year we had 71% repeat referral. And this year we're at 65% with, obviously we've got another 5 months to go. And, at 108 deals that we closed last year, having 75% or 75 of them close to as just past clients and repeat referrals. And that's not including agent referrals or the referrals like we get from Home Light or UpNest or the things like that. That's just our sphere. When we really think about why we spend money on Zillow and our other marketing programs, maybe we should pull that back and put the, a couple thousand a month I have in Zillow spend back into client parties or back into other stuff.
Right.
But you feel like you have to,
Right.
put it out.
Right.
Maybe it's just that we want our name on the side of the screen. I don't know. It's just, I look at that all the time.
Todd,
But,
so how long, so have you been, so 20 years in the business, second generation, that's pretty cool. What is how long you been in the same market? How long have you been in the Orlando market?
I've been in the Orlando market for 20 years. We moved down here back in 1991. I got into real estate in 95 as an investor. Spent the first 5 years out of high school doing that, buying and selling properties, playing the rental game, playing Section 8, doing all that fun stuff. And then age 25, it was time to wake up and actually, I don't know if it was get a real job, but it was get my license and start selling. And I managed over 100 properties personally I owned, and that was like taking a toll. So it was like, let's slow down, let's get into something else. And so we got my license done and decided, all right, let's get into the sales side, and got out of the investment. And, it's funny because I start getting back to the investments again right now. And it's like, God, it's so much easier doing sales. The money you make on a flip is not what you can make on a couple quick commissions. Not that commissions are quick, because they do take a lot of work.
Right.
But, so we like the sales. And I mean, I've had my team for about 7-8 years now. Since we moved over, we built our team a little bit bigger it was just 2 of us with 2 support staff, to adding 2 more right when we moved. And we just hired another one on at the beginning of July, and he's our FISBO and expired, cold caller. So that's going to be a small portion of our business now, versus just going after the online lead generation and repeat referral.
So we're starting to, so we're introducing some additional new, pillars into the business. And so that could be a little bit of a dip of, the 5-6%, of the business, as we're adding new streams of opportunities into the business.
Yeah, exactly. So we're excited for Don, because he just joined us, and he's part-time or full-time firefighter, full-time realtor. Every the 2 days that he's not at the station, he's here working, making the calls, getting on the appointments. It's exciting because he's somebody that's on the phones that can help get the energy in the office going. Because
yes, that's what I was about to say.
I don't pick up the phone as often as I should, and where I'm supposed to be the rainmaker and getting everyone doing their thing. And where my lead generation is, a lot of it's just being in the neighborhood, walking the dog, seeing the kids, picking them up from school, and everyone waves to you when you're going out of the community. Because we've concentrated on a farm area of about 3,000 to 5,000 homes, and we're very involved in our kids' school. So that helps us, keep our branding out there and our brand awareness. One of the fun things we do is I'm a big swag proponent, and my kids wear our clothes to work or to school. The teachers have our Yetis on their desk. So we're always advertising subliminally somehow, somewhere. And
I love that. That's a great nugget right there. Just making sure you're getting that swag everywhere, even with the kids. And yeah, that's awesome.
One of my daughter's friends goes, "Hey, I want one of those shirts." So she goes home with one of our shirts, the kids have, and her neighbor down the road's a realtor, and I get this ugly message on Facebook. It's fun, but hey, leave your stuff at home. So each time she comes over, I send her back with more to give her neighbor.
Man, people go crazy over shirts. It's
fun.
It's the coolest thing, man. Anybody that I've seen that's done really well with their farm areas, they implement that strategy right there. Giving shirts, getting the swag out, has been instrumental in helping build that brand awareness.
When we moved from Remax to EXP, we obviously had a lot of stuff left over. So we have these shirts called, on the front, we designed it Sunshine State of Mind, and on the back had our logo. And so we probably had 60 or 80 shirts left. So our fall festival they do in October, we just laid the table out, and free shirts, pick out your size. Everybody has them. And the local daycare that we have that we do the festival at, she has a bunch of the little kid size to a 3 to 4 year old. And so if a kid is sick, they go home with one of my shirts on.
There you go. I love it.
Simple marketing going back. It's awesome.
That's awesome.
So we love that. And then we got the tumblers.
I just want to emphasize one key thing that you said there that I didn't want to let slip through that I wrote down is, I think it's absolutely critical that, how involved you get into the community. And, just like you said, just out being seen, walking the dog, saying hi to people. I mean, just the little things like that are really, really key in really taking over a farm area, but just creating that brand awareness.
Well, the beauty of the business is that we can control our schedule. So if, my kids have an event going on at the school, we're there. We're always there. I'm not running around with my name badge on, but people know who I am. I'll typically, I've got shirts that I wear that have our team name on them and stuff, and I'll run around with those on. It was great when I was going to the gym because I always had a shirt on. It was somebody drew a character of me a while back. And so on the back, we put, "Let this character sell your house," with the picture of that on it. So we want to get back into making some of those because those are fun. And again, we gave them to the kids. The kids were wearing those as well. And it just our neighbor kids. It was fun. But it's, being there with the schedule and going to the kids' schools. The teacher sees us, the principal sees us. My son made the comment the other day. He goes, "Dad, why does the principal have your card on his desk?" I'm like, "Son, you're either really in trouble or he's going to be buying a house soon. We don't know."
You got a house.
So we're hoping he's buying a house and you're not in trouble, that he's got my number on speed dial.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They love that stuff. So, and just, we're there at 8 o'clock dropping them off. We're there at 3:30 picking them up. So we're seeing all the other parents and having those conversations. What's going on? Hey, this person's moving. Should I give them a call? So that's what helps us keep our farm, which helps us keep our business, hyper local.
Yep. I love it. That's great.
So, I'll dive into some of the things that we do really to keep our business moving. And, number one, we do a lot of consumer connected events where we're doing our client parties. We've been expanding on those the last couple of years, and I think that's helped us build our repeat referral a little bit more. But we started out 2 years ago doing it. We did a happy hour at an island that we've got here. That's kind of just a local hangout. Moved it over to a friend's bar at one point, and it's like our spring festival that we do. And we are not spring festival. It's like our spring happy hour we do for the adults. And we get 60 to 100 people there. And I do an open bar. I don't say you got 2 drink tickets, that's it. And because if it's going to cost me $1,500 or $2,500, I'd rather everyone enjoy themselves, not worry about it. But we do the live band. We've got the videographer there, getting testimonials. And then we do a fall festival at the daycare, and that's our big event because that's our family oriented. We have, this year is going to be a little bit different, but the last 2 years we've had about 150 people there. And we get our vendors that we work with to co-sponsor. And what we end up getting there is, we call it a truck or treat. And so we all park our trucks right up the front, open the trunk up. Everyone has a theme. Everyone's standing there handing out candy to the kids. They walk in, they get to go to the icy truck, like the Jeremiah's truck. Then they go to the food truck where everyone's getting lunch. And then we've got a petting zoo, pumpkin carving, face painting, got a DJ going on. Again, the video guy walking around doing his thing, grabbing clients, getting some video testimonials. That's fun because it's not at a closing where we're getting how was the service. It's a year or 2, 3 years later, someone's giving an updated testimonial on us, which is awesome. And it's in a real live event. And then we've got the balloon twister, face painting. So that's like our big thing. And that is expanding this year, which we're excited because the daycare is actually going to partner with us on it instead of us just hosting ours there, but their clients are going to come to it as well. And so it's going to help us bring them into our sphere and do some more marketing to them. And it's going to open up the whole thing to us. We're like, what else are we going to add this year? And we're like, all right, let's do some the costume contest, and who's got the scariest, who's got the funniest, who's got the silliest. We're trying to, and that's coming up in October, so we're trying to think about what all we're doing, but we're excited to partner with them on that because that's going to be a big thing for us. And it's right in the neighborhood. So on the marquee, they leave the sign up, private event, Todd Schroth real estate team, fall festival. It's up there for a week after the events happened. And so it's like marketing that just keeps happening with all the cars driving by.
Right. It's a free piece there. So you get the vendors to kind of go in and co-sponsor on this event and help with it. Do you do anything on the happy hour one, or is that just 100% you?
No, we do the happy hours. We've done it ourselves. I mean, it's $2,500 when it's done. It's not that much money. The fall festival, that costs between $4,000 to $6,000, depending on how many people are coming. So we do get them to sponsor with that. And the sponsorship side on that part is, the sponsorship side, we've got different levels for them. Where if they sponsor like the gold level, they're going to get their name on the bag, and they're going to get some swag in the bag, and they're going to have a few more things to provide to the clients. If they do the basic sponsorship, we'll probably just have them bring their car there. And it's more them just helping us out, pay for the event. That's all we're looking for, because it is a very expensive event, but it gives them an opportunity to get back in front of their people that they've sold. And it's like our title company, our mortgage partners, our home inspector. Those guys are the ones that we want there. We're expanding it and open a little bit more this year because the daycare is partnering with us. And so they've got people that have their own businesses that want to, help out as well. So we're going to have more sponsors, which is going to be great. Hopefully it costs us less money, but we can provide more services.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah, those are fantastic. So we've got a spring event going on. We've got a fall festival event going on. Any other events that you guys do throughout the year, or is it just really gearing up around those two?
It was geared up around those two, and we just decided to try the movie event this year. We did the Toy Story 4 opening. It was Saturday morning. We did that. I want to call it a movie night, but it was more like a movie day. It was more like a movie day. But we had the vendors there as well, help sponsor, and we bought the Mr. Potato Head costume, had a kid running around in that.
It's awesome.
So everyone was getting pictures with him. We had our step and repeat put up, so everyone get a picture as they're walking in, and we rented. It was only a 100-person theater that we rented out, which we wanted to keep it small. We're learning. It was our first one, and we took away a few lessons that we need to do better for the next one, but. It's also very hard to get a theater to cooperate with us, but we got that done. Buying a red carpet, they wanted us to rent theirs for $300. Why? They're only $50.
Right.
We'll take it with us. But that was a good event because we ended up walking out of there with 2 buyers, and it was funny to get an email or a text message from a client after the event. Hey, we ran by an open house, and I haven't talked to them in 2 years except for just messaging back and forth. Hey, come to these parties, and they said, we went by this open house. We want to put an offer on the place. Like, what better could you ask for? Somebody leaves your movie, goes to an open house, wants to write a contract, and lists their house.
Yes.
That pays for the event and the next one.
That's it.
So,
I think, cool. Too, it's exciting. It's exciting that, you're giving a reason to communicate, right? To be able to reach out, and they're like, man, thanks for the invite. Sorry, we're not gonna be able to make this one. Hey, hopefully we'll see you at the fall festival, right? So it's just a good touch, good little love, good little touch on them. And yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So that was exciting to get that. And, and it gives us an opportunity to talk to the clients. We're trying to add in, normally for our clients at the end of the year, for our closings that year, we're going to go around locally. If we've got something more than probably 20 miles away, we're not going to, or more than like 15, not deliver. But we do like a Christmas cactus or a rosemary tree or something, poinsettia that we'll drop off at their house for our closings this year. That's another reason to kind of get back in front of those people, that we've closed through the year. So it's just another touch point. So this year we're looking at trying to do something at the office, bring Santa in, and they're trying to get me to dress up like Santa. I don't know if that'll happen. We're actually looking for a Santa to kind of be here, and we'll have the tree delivery from like 3 to 5. They can all come pick up their rosemary or whatever we're going to hand out, and then we'll have Santa set up. And it'll be nice too because it'll put the Christmas theme in the office and get the spirit going. But it'll bring all the people to our office, kind of like the pie giveaways.
Yeah.
We've thought about that for years and we haven't done it. It might happen in November. I don't know. But we're going to try the Christmas thing first and then go into the pie giveaway.
I think it was, definitely the, if you go to the Santa theme, I know one of our partners here that when we had the brokerage here in Dallas, her business was, 90% was repeat referral. And she did at her home every year, she did for private, party that was like, she went all out, and she had like a real looking Santa, but it was, bring the kids and get your picture with Santa. Right. And she, she does it every year, and it's like, it's people look forward to that, right? They talk about that event. And so that's, I think when you're doing these events, you want your clients, talking about it, really looking forward to those things. When you send the invite, like, man, they're like, it's on their calendar. Like they're like, man, I can't miss it.
So we do a party at our house. When we first moved into the neighborhood, there was luckily one of the neighbors came over, dropped a flyer off and said, hey, Santa comes on the cul-de-sac the last Sunday or the Sunday before Christmas. So they for the last 30 years or so, this house down in the cul-de-sac has been having Santa come on the back of a fire truck And he pulls up 7 o'clock. He's there for an hour, gets the photos, does all the stuff. So it was cool because we created a party out of that at our house. Not a client party, but just all the friends come over and neighbors. So then we invite a few clients. You know, we have 60 to 80 people at our house, kids running everywhere. But we'll invite a few clients that are in the neighborhood over. And last year or the year before, it was the year before last, 17, my wife bought me a Buddy the Elf costume. So I became
that picture. Where's that at?
It was great. And we've got a Buddy the Elf cardboard cutout that one of the teachers borrows every year now to put in her classroom. But Santa was late. It was funny because I put on midway through, nobody knew I was doing this, but I put on a Buddy the Elf costume, stepped out of our master bathroom. I step out of our master bathroom that goes to the pool and the Buddy the Elf, and everyone just started cracking up. But it was awesome.
That's great.
Then probably 10 minutes later, we walked down to the cul-de-sac, and Santa's late, and getting kids wanting to take a picture with me on the chair because Santa's not there yet for Buddy the Elf. And then, luckily I'm a few beers in, so I've got a good,
yeah, you're good, man.
Kid just pulling up, and I'm like, oh my God, Santa, I know him. And Santa, it was great. Santa and I getting a picture together, and the fire truck, the firefighters were having fun with it as well. But then 6 months later, one of the kids is in the grocery store. He's 6 or 7 years old. And he's like, Mom, look, it's Buddy the Elf. It doesn't matter if I'm in the costume or not. I'm already pegged Buddy the Elf.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was always huge for us in all of our events is, connecting with the kids, right? Because they're the ones that are constantly in mom and dad's ear, about the events and stuff. So we did a dunk kinder event where we had the water tank and we had kinder up there and you can come throw softballs at them and dunk them. So
they're talking about doing that and I forgot about that. They're talking about doing that at the fall festival with
great. It's a hit.
The daycare in there. I'm like, that's going to be great.
That's a huge hit. That's a huge hit. Absolutely. Definitely do that. So this is fantastic. So I think a real, an emphasis here for everybody tuning in, being intentional with your events, not trying to do I would recommend, building up to it, right? It's just like Todd had mentioned, two events and then you start adding in another one, right? And you just kind of build from that instead of being aggressive and say, we're going to do 12 events this year. And it's a lot to handle as well. So what else from a communication standpoint between events, or is it really just focused around, hey, in adding, hey, we got this event coming up, get it on your calendar. Is there any additional communication? What else are you giving back to the database, to your, talking to your clients?
It really centers around the events. Like I'm not, like I said, I'm not one that's on the phone all the time calling. I'm checking them in every quarter. How's it going? Do you have any referrals for us? We're here, don't forget about us. I try and stay in front of them through a lot of different avenues. More going to the functions, sponsoring a lot of events. Like, the PTA is actually growing at our elementary school right now. So we sponsor and get in front of people that way. And like we're in the golf outing, so we sponsor the drink cart, most popular cart on the golf course.
100%.
Our flag is around it.
Yep.
So we get into a lot of that. Even with the high school, our kids are not there yet, but they've been taking our money for the last couple of years. We're on the football field. We're on the baseball field. We sponsor the 5K. We sponsor, my niece is in volleyball, so I've got my banner up in her gymnasium. And it's just ways that people keep seeing our name, and I think being recognized that way. I do get annoyed when I get an email from I'm going to show a house, and I realize the football coach that's buying or selling something. I'm like, wait, I'm giving you guys money for your field. Why aren't you calling us? We try to figure out what happened, or, and everybody's got a friend who's a realtor. There's even teachers who are realtors. That they're doing something with the other teachers. But, we try to just give back as much as we can so that way we can be involved as, more than we usually are. And that's what I think we're staying in front of people more often that way. But, when we're getting in front of clients around the events, we're doing a live broadcast too, and we're doing videos about the event. Like the movie was fun because I got up there in front of the theater, did a bomb video, recorded it about 3 weeks in advance, then 2 weeks or a week in advance. My wife and kids and I went to go see a movie there, and took a family video and sent it off to the database. And my son mentioned the video. My wife and daughter pulled up their blanket. Don't forget your blankets. Getting them involved because people want to see that. It's not all business and all
Personal
sales.
connection. It's huge.
And then, we mail out a card, to everyone. Don't forget about the event. We also text that out to everybody. And I don't really push the referral base in that because I don't want it to be about business. I want it to be about them. And we try to talk about it subliminally through, hey, fill out this card if you're anybody looking to move in. If they close, we'll give you a gift card or something, whatever we can do legally. But we try and do stuff that direction.
That's awesome. So it just triggered a bunch of questions. I was just like, okay, this is good. So one, you mentioned BombBomb video, and I think that's a huge takeaway for everybody listening in, and leverage video with the connection to your database. There's nothing more powerful. And so making sure that you're using the power of video. So is it something that, how long have you guys been using BombBomb? And is it something that, it's in the process of everything that you guys do? How do you leverage that throughout the year?
So we don't. It's funny because I've had it now on a regular subscription for about 3 years. This is my third time using it. So I bought it 8 years ago, bought it again 4 years ago, and just finally decided, all right, let's start doing more video. And I need to leverage it a lot more than I am. I've got a lot of great ideas. It's just a matter of doing it. At the time of inspection, hey, Johnny, we got the inspection done. Everything looks good. There's only a couple items. We'll be in touch here. Hit send. Don't do that enough. I think that's great ways to get in front of your people more often because they don't want to just see a text. If they can catch the video, they can see and hear you more often. But BombBomb is, we've got it. We use a program called Follow Up Boss or database management. So it's got when you hit send email, it has a little picture of a bomb there. You can hit that and it pops it up and embeds it right in the email. It makes it a lot easier to pop the the video in, and so we'll do some client updates with that. But we do it more. I do it more personally for the events and for large broadcast things that we're doing, not more one-on-one with clients. I've got my team is starting to implement it more one-on-one, which is great because the more video we can do, the more people are going to, I think, be engaged with us.
100%, right? So you think about the from a virtual perspective, right? When you're in a virtual environment and you have a virtual team or whatever, you have to leverage the power of video to have that connection. So think about that with your clients as well. And the more video that you can incorporate, right, the stronger the connection. Yep. And so really making, I just cannot stress enough for all of you guys listening in, just leverage the heck out of that. It'll deepen the relationships.
$400 a year, buy it and use it.
Yeah, 100%.
The mobile app is easy to use. We do a lot of recordings now with people joining the team. We're using a BombBomb and we'll mail it out to our database. Hey, just want to introduce our new agent. We're kind of going after them that way. Besides doing Facebook Lives with introducing, but this is more directed towards the client, towards our database. Hey, Don just joined the team. Let's do a quick introduction to Don. And it's like a 1-minute video. We did that when we joined EXP. We just did a quick little BombBomb video, sitting at the desk with my partner and I, and send it out to everybody. And it gets engagement. People will watch it and listen to it because they're not getting too many of them. So they're like, oh, what's Todd talking about today? Right.
Absolutely. So another question that I wrote down is, and I see it a lot, and people, I think, do you guys just flat out ask for referrals?
No, we don't. We should more often, but we kind of go in a different direction. I can't say how we do it because it just happens. I was listening to somebody sing in the world the other day. It's like call up and ask, or your voicemail says, who do you know that's moving in the next 60 days that I can help? Need to start going after that a little bit more because I think we'll up our business a little bit more. Because one of our referral partners that we have we were there at her house the other day for a dinner, and they're like, yeah, my friend's buying a house in Lake Mary, and this and this and this is happening. I'm like, wait, you just referred 2 other people to us. Why isn't this person referred to us? But they're also talking about referring their sister to us. So what happened to this friend? And again, everybody knows an agent somewhere. So maybe the friend had an agent who was something, but why didn't we get at least an opportunity on that, knowing Sally was going to be buying a house?
Right.
We need to be asking for a little more often.
Gotcha. Yeah. And so I think one of the, I remember, I think it was at Traffic and Conversion or something, and they were talking about referrals specifically, and their rule of thumb was, just adding value, staying top of mind. And they said the only time that you ask for the referral is when you'll get it 100% of the time.
Yep. And, it's like asking for the review. After you've done a good job is when you ask about it. I've seen lenders who are new in the business in closings that's not going well. He's on his script. Hey, if you guys know anybody that's interested in refinancing or buying another home, I would love the opportunity to help them. And I just saw this lender get ripped to shreds.
Yep.
And I felt so bad I wanted to walk out of there because I knew it wasn't going well, but he was doing what he was trained to do. And he just needs to be trained a little bit differently to, hey, guys, if it's not working, I don't ask the question.
100%.
There's an appropriate time for each thing to be asked.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So are you doing anything? You said gift card, kind of mentioned something in there. Are you doing anything to reward the behavior when you do get a referral? Are you guys sending anything? How are you thanking them?
Send a thank you. Obviously, they're getting that from us. One of the things we started to implement this year, I don't know if you're familiar with the book Perk Your Sphere by Liz Johnson, former KW, or sorry, I think she's KW agent still. But we took that book, not word for word, but took her platform that she uses and kind of brought it down and called it the Todd Schroth Loyalty Club, or TS Loyalty Club.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. What is that book again?
Perk Your Sphere.
Perk Your Sphere.
And there's a mastermind group on Facebook about it. And what it is you take your top 50 people, you have your ABC clients, take your top 50, like we just put, I asked the team to, go through your database, pick out the people that are your top sphere, not, the new agents don't, you have a small database, pick out 4 or 5 people, where I've got 1,000 people in my database, I'm going to pick out the top 5 or 10% that are referring us. And we put together an item of value every month. And for Father's Day, we mail them a koozie, and it's branded to us. It says "Stay cozy, stay cozy, my friend." And again, I'm getting pictures of the dads holding a beer in their koozie, from us. It was funny because again, the same couple that's at our house for dinner last weekend with another friend who we're very good friends with all of them, but one of them doesn't send any referrals whatsoever, and she was talking about what's coming in the mail this month. And the other couple looked at us like, wait, you get something in the mail from Todd? We're like, well, yeah. She's like, we love the sponge they mailed us. We love the 4th of July. We mailed out a Bang Bang stick or whatever it was. I forgot. But it was lit up red, white, and blue. The things you crack that light up. It lit up red, white, and blue. And so we had that. And then Mike was like, what do you mean we don't get anything? I'm like, well, you got to send referrals to get the free stuff. So then they kind of were taken back, but it was all in good fun. If you send us referrals, we'll send you stuff. And, the book goes more in depth. Like, whoever sent us the most referrals that month, we're going to go on a Facebook Live and say, well, John Kitchens, thank you for the referral. You gave us 3 referrals this month. You get the prize. Here it is. It's a basket of something. Come to the office by Friday and get it. Now, I don't go that in depth with it. We just keep sending the item of value to stay top of mind to those people.
Right.
And it's working. It's slow, but it's working. And we just started this year, so we're going to improve upon it next year. Like this month, and I let Rachel, our marketing, and my wife pick out all the stuff that is going out. I don't want to be involved in it. Just get it done, get it out. And they come up with more creative things than I do. We have a little girl who makes sponges, and it's actually they're interviewing us about the sponges in the Ultimate Life magazine. And another agent actually saw the sponge on Facebook and is now ordering from this girl who's 10 years old making this stuff. So giving that out was something because it's personal to a family. Right. And so it was cool we were able to do that. And, it's just we find little items of value like that. And they're $6 or $8 by the time you mail them. If you're mailing 800 or not 800, if you're mailing 80 to 100 of them, it's a simple marketing budget to stay in front of the people.
Absolutely. I mean, I love it. And so I had a thought there as you were kind of going through that with that modeling that loyalty club is key, right? So that really stays top of mind for sure. That's great to have. We had, the Raving Fan Club, but we enrolled everybody into it. And so only enrolling at a higher level based upon their actions. And so you are doing a wonderful job at rewarding and setting up that behavior for sure. Do you have, so I know from Facebook as well, are you creating, do you have a loyalty club Facebook group to where everybody's in there?
Haven't created one yet. We are going to at some point this year get that created and get everybody into it and really, hone in more on the marketing of it. We keep talking about getting rid of the program because like are people acknowledging it? And of the 80 to 100 that we mail every month, about 10 of the people, 10% of them will acknowledge saying thank you. We have to message say, hey, did you get it? Oh yeah, thank you. We don't expect everyone to thank us every month, but at least, hey, cool, thanks for this gift. And so we want to get, as we kind of get the program rolling off to the end of the year, we're going to probably in January start the Facebook group, get more into the book and more in line with what the program is. I've got an agent in Wisconsin that I'm a mastermind with. And she actually started about 3 months ago running the Perk Your Sphere, and she is taking the book word for word. I mean, literally, and she's exploding her referral business. And it's because she's taking it word for word, it's working the way it's supposed to. We took it and we're using about 25 to 40% of it, where she's going 100% all in with it. So I think if we again, you can only take on so much at a time and learn it. So I think if we can figure the rest of this year out and figure out how to implement come January, we're going to double our referral business next year if we really get all in on it.
That's brilliant. That's a great takeaway for all of you guys tuning in. Grab your copy of that, Perk Your Sphere. Yeah. Talking about just online presence. I mean, you guys do a lot of stuff in the community, getting involved with, the schools, doing the events. I was going to ask you all ago with doing the stuff with the kids. Do you guys have the kids contribute back on anything? I know for us, like when I sponsored, if I sponsored anything for like my dad when he was still coaching, if he sponsored, if I sponsored his golf team or whatever, then I would have the kids come help out at the events, right? Yeah.
So the golf tournament we just sponsored with the PTA, I had the kids helping out at the tent that we were at, the hole we were at. And my daughter was, she's Girl Scout, so she does the Girl Scout cookies there. We were handing out something else. Something I learned, which is a total off topic from this, but one of the lenders did, if you're sponsoring a golf tournament, she had a hangover kit. And it's branded, it says on the little brown bag, hangover kit, and FBC mortgage, etc. And inside was a bottle of tequila and a Bloody Mary mix. And so it was perfect. I think that's going to get more attention to the adults than the golf towels that I have.
Right.
But every time we do an event, I throw some more swag on it, whether it's golf towel, golf balls. We've done the tees. But every time I see someone's bag running around, it's got my golf towel on. I'm like, cool. They've got something of us on them that they're seeing us. I get the kids involved as much as I can. My son wanted to play in the golf tournament, but it was an adult tournament. He couldn't keep up. So I was like, all right, Ryan, we'll both stay out of it. We're going to work the booth that we've got set up. But if we can get him involved, I think one of the things that's going to happen this year in September, I think she's doing, and we're just talks on it. They're doing a parade in the community. So we wanted to, we're one of our team members has got young kids, so she's buying a little dollhouse. We're going to pop it on a trailer. And the parade's only about 5 blocks, maybe a half a mile long. So we're going to put our dog on it. Maybe the kids can stand on it. Again, we got to figure out the stability of the trailer, but try and do something with that. Because growing up in the industry, my parents owned a Section 21 office, and they had built a house on a trailer that I was always walking next to when they would do the county parade or the town parade. So I was involved doing that stuff growing up, throwing candy to the kids in the parade. I thought it was fun. So I'm excited to kind of do that and get our kids involved in it.
Yeah, we had the wrapped Hummer, right? Kinder, we had it wrapped. So all the parades that we could get into, we got the Hummer in there, right? And the team would jump in and hanging out the sunroof in the back and throwing candy and just getting involved as much as we can, for sure. So what online presence are you guys getting into, to really are you involved in like your local community on that page? Are you like next door? Are you doing anything online there to as well as just to have a presence?
We don't market on Nextdoor as far as one of the sponsored agents, but we just in 17, and again, we just got notification for this year. We were the award-winning realtor for the most votes for Nextdoor. So we take that and we market it because it's something else to kind of push out there. I wish I would have started the Facebook page 5 6 years ago when we moved in there for the community.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept spending more time thinking about what to call it than I did implementing it. And somebody that runs a dog walking business moved into the community, started Wakaiba community Facebook page, has 2,000 followers, and people go in there and ask questions for realtors. We're obviously engaged. If the key takeaway there is, if you are an agent in the community, be friends with the admin, because they will, if someone's dogging you, they will delete the post. And you can say, hey, can you take this down? Because everyone has a hater, everyone has a lover. And you've got your agents that will, your friends in there that will help. I want to sell my house, they'll keep tagging and sponsoring. And then you have the other people that will sit there and just be negative. Be friends with the admins that are in those groups, because they will help you, your supporter.
Great nugget right there. There's a little ninja move.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys, that's a rider downer. Any of those, that's just a great strategy all the way around. Any of the groups that you're involved in, get clear on who the admin is and how can you add value and make their life a lot easier.
And you gotta cooperate with the groups, because they got marketing Mondays or sell it Saturday. And some of the groups are only on the first Saturday of the month, or every Monday you can do something. You get a warning and then you're removed. So if you want to stay in there and stay engaged, follow the rules. And that's the other part of it. But I wish I would have, 6 years ago, got the group started and really started pushing it, because I would have more control and more opportunity to, I think, try and gain some more control of the community there.
That's fantastic. What, you guys got a lot of stuff, obviously finishing out the year, thinking of some different, events and communication and value add. Is there anything else on the horizon that you guys are excited about to really help push, more and more on the repeat and referral business?
One of the other things we do, again, it's more school because it's where a lot of our business comes through, is getting involved with the teachers and helping them out. We do a teacher, we call it a, oh my God, what is it? The firefighter, the heroes program. The firefighters, the teachers, the police. So we want to give back to them anything we can. So, when I talk to them and we're listening, your commission's X, we knock X off, because we want you to take that money that you're saving and put it back into your classroom. And I did that for one of the teachers, and I solicited her mom's house. And when I said I'm doing the same program for you as I did for your daughter, she started crying. And we're knocking 1.5 points off of our commission when we list the house, when we're doing that for the teachers and stuff. And that right there is, I think, enough give back that it's like a good takeaway. And when the mom started crying that I was doing that for the schools, that again generates more referrals and more signs in the yard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Find a way to partner with the businesses like that.
Yeah,
how
it's
you can do stuff.
What advice would you give, somebody that's looking to really, kickstart, a better job at really implementing some of these, programs and after closing type communication and deepening of relationships? What would be some of the key things that you would recommend, for somebody that's trying to get it going?
Stay in touch with your client, be omnipresent, be on Facebook, be engaged in their posts, because they're going to see that, or Instagram. I don't really get into Instagram. I'm more Facebook. They see me on it all the time. They're doing stuff. I'm commenting. So it keeps you top of mind. After closing, give them a closing basket, whether it's today or a week from now. Give them a closing basket, and they've got something that they've got back at their house that reminds you of them all the time. We've got our closing baskets we do this tin bin with their name across it. And then it's got a cutting board branded by us. We put some little wine tumblers in there. We put a Yeti, depending on the client and how we feel. Again, I'm the largest purchaser of Girl Scout cookies in this area. We buy 500 of them at a time for the closings.
I'd be coming to your house all the time for sure.
The cookies come out, and it's like, honey, we need a check. I'm like, oh, darn it. But we put those in there, and I kind of talk about the basket because we buy the Thanks a Lot cookies, and it's just a thanks a lot for doing business with us. We buy these from my daughter's Girl Scout team, troop. So putting that kind of stuff together for the closing, and then they remember you when they get home. And then, talk to the people 60 days later. And these are some things we're going to start doing because we haven't done it enough. 30 days later, make a call, shoot a text, do something, check in, not ask for referrals, but hey, 30 days in, don't forget to change your filter. 60 days in, how's it going? Do you need your warranty information for anything? 90 days in, how's the stuff going? Are you guys, the kids get registered to school, et cetera, et cetera. find reasons to follow up every month, but don't ask for the business because they'll keep thinking about you and then it'll eventually come.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And I'm definitely a proponent of that in a big way. What, and you said you guys are using Follow Up Boss. Is that where you're going to build this process out, is inside of there with the reminders and the tasks?
Yep. It's all in the action plans that are done. So my team, after we close the deal out, they create an action plan, whether it's, and it's already determined whether the agent or the admin needs to do it. And so once they hit the closing, that starts taking, then it triggers all the tasks that need to be done. One of the cool things we're doing also, we've been doing for the last 2 years, is the home anniversary. So at the 1 year plan or 1 year they're closing, we mail out a little shell with an air plant in it. They get it. And some people, what is this? And others send my wife or somebody a text, hey, thanks for the air plant. Really, appreciate you guys. So it's like just another reminder a year later. Right. I love when we send something to a client and they're like, oh my God, thank you so much. And they're out of the area. We're probably not going to get business from them again, but they still get the stuff. And we just want to stay top of mind if we can a little bit more.
That's great. That's fantastic. Absolutely. Being able to do that. And, definitely don't leave it up to chance, guys.
Nope.
Build the process out, put it, we all have the best of intentions, but if it's not in a process checklist, things are going to fall through the cracks. And so
I wish we would have gotten that a little bit more back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fantastic. Any other key points that you want to really emphasize to kind of bring this home for everybody?
I think we've talked about a lot of it. If you haven't done an event, get with the team who's done an event, learn from them. There's probably something in Expert Mentors that talks about someone's successful events. I know Kyle Whistle keeps popping up these little videos about what he does. And my team just tagged me on something yesterday on cookout he was doing. I'm like, I love the idea of, ways to talk to your clients. Don't call them events or client parties, call them, friends and family.
Yes.
That was good. We need to go back and watch a little bit more of what he's doing because, I'm just copying. I'm looking at what others are doing and copying, and we're not recreating the wheel. We are changing it a little bit to fit our nature and our personality.
Sure.
Our personality is not 100% of the book. So we made the book the way we like it. And, we want to implement a little bit more of it. So, and again, baby steps, I think is what the word would be. Don't just jump in and say, I'm going to do a movie night and then fail. Do the movie night, but do it slow. Don't rent out a 400-person theater at one time. Do 100-person, invite your key people. Then, okay, that event was successful. Now go to the next one.
That's awesome. Great advice. 100%. You definitely, model those that are doing it well. Kyle's doing it at an extremely high level. I love that language. Take out, don't say client appreciation. It's just family and friends, because that's really what you really want to drive them to. So that was a great nugget. I saw that as well. Another one of our honey badgers, and we did an Expert Mentors 30 something somewhere in there. You guys can search for Andrew Gaydosh. Key West, he did a great presentation for us.
I still have a ton of notes on that. When I was down there listening to him, I was like, holy crap, this is amazing. I started listening to it again today. Just kind of gained some more stuff. And Dan Beer did one, I think it was like week 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Awesome little, content they had in there.
Yeah, no, fantastic. I think, you go through and you watch, you can just watch this episode over and over again. You can watch Gaydosh's episode, pull from Dan, just see what Kyle's doing. There's also Gaydosh has a Facebook group. So all of you guys listening in need to be a part of it. It's called his Neighborhood Mayors.
Yes. Yep.
Get a part of that Facebook group. It's just like, what Todd was sharing, you get in some of those groups, but that really is a group that really talks about everything here, and really taking over a geographical area. That's really where Gaydosh's main focus is, geographical area. I love what you're doing and taking beyond, it's kind of like our Raving Fan program, but it's like the loyalty and rewarding the behavior outside of that geographical area too. So, I think it's fantastic. So there's nuggets that you guys can pick and pull to really, nurture and love on your database. I mean, it's gold. I mean, 71% last year, 65% of business. So, I mean, 70, 80 deals. I mean, how many of you guys listening in would love to have 70, 80 deals, come to you, that you're not out there banging the phones and hustling cold traffic, but people that already know you, like you, love you, trust you. And I think that's ultimately where we always want to get to. And like I said at the beginning, man, 50% has always been kind of like, man, that's a magical milestone. If I get to 50% of our business and continue to grow, 70%, that would be incredible.
I keep spending money trying to find new business, and I maybe we just need to cut the plug today and just say, guys, we're done with all this stuff. We're gonna spend $3,000 a month on happy hours and get in front of our clients or whatever we're gonna do with that money, instead of put it on Zillow for people that don't know us.
Right.
You got to keep adding to your database of people who don't know you to become your raving fans, and that's why I think we do that as part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think finding a couple key pillars, but I would just strongly emphasize here, guys, that this needs to be one of your foundational pillars in your business. I know when we broke away from Caldwell Banker and went independent, we had three key pillars that we built our business on. And, it was guaranteed sale program. It was, at the time, I think it was Boomtown or Commissions Inc. And then the other was Raving Fan. Right. That was the key core third pillar of our business. And I think where a lot of us get tripped up is, like you said, we're out chasing the shiny object and we're not squeezing all of the juice out of really what's working well in our business. And so it's just a great reminder there for everybody to, man, are you squeezing the juice out of your database?
Yeah, where else can you pull it out of there? If it's, and again, if you call your clients quarterly or just be in touch with them somehow every blue moon, it's going to help.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm selling a house for a client right now who I sold back in 2000, and they reached out to me 2 years ago to buy a condo. Her and her husband get divorced. Now I'm selling the wife again, the condo again for the wife, but I haven't spoke to them in about 6 or 8 years. They just came back to us through natural attrition. Another one I'm showing today is a teacher I sold back in 2003. So it's, when I get those clients back that and the one today we were in touch with on a regular basis just through Facebook and stuff, but it's cool when I can, list a house that I sold 15 years ago, and, see what they've done to it and get in touch with the client and all that stuff.
That is pretty cool. It's always fun. And, it's exciting, you go back and you have that relationship over that period of time, and it kicks you in the gut though when you drive by and you see somebody else's sign in their yard. You're that's a wake up call, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Todd, man, I really appreciate you taking the time. Amazing call. Tons and tons of nuggets, and I really appreciate you jumping in, adding value, really being a true expert mentor for everybody. So can't thank you enough.
Excited to do this. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it, John.
Absolutely. For all of you guys listening in, thank you for taking the time, jumping on live with us. And then if you're listening to the recording, we'll get it, obviously posted in the Facebook group. You can search for it there. We'll get added to the Expert Mentors tool. And just make sure you guys give Todd some love for taking the time and adding value. Appreciate you guys. Thanks. Todd, thanks again, man. Great job.
Thank you.